Welcome back, everybody. So, Health Minister Zweli Mkhize says the latest COVID-19 death is that of a 57-year-old man from the Western Cape. His death brings the total number from the coronavirus now to 12. The total number of people infected with COVID-19 in South Africa has increased by 31 from the previous update to 1,686. Government has embarked on a mass screening and testing drive in an effort to identify infected people and to stop the spread of the virus. But what are the country's almost 300 municipalities doing to curb the spread of the coronavirus? Let's discuss this and other issues related to municipalities with Thembi Nkadimeng, who is the president of the South African Local Government Association, or SALGA. Great to have you, Thembi. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Leanne, and good morning.
So one would imagine that the provision of water probably tops the list in terms of fighting the scourge of this pandemic. Are municipalities up to this task?
Well, thank you very much. You are correct. Water provision, sanitation is one of the key aspects of municipalities' contribution towards COVID-19. But generally, as we are supposed to be providing water and services. But you also don't stop there, Leanne. Sanitation and waste and refuse collection are also key in making sure that we combat COVID-19.
Yeah, and I must say it's been amazing, particularly with regard to the refuse workers and them going about their jobs in the manner that they are and continuing to tirelessly serve South Africa. This has been, I must say, a big accolade to them.
It is a big issue, Leanne. As you have started with the issue of water, you know that the municipalities, together with the Department of Water and Sanitation, are hard at work to make sure that we provide water even in rural areas where we are unable to reach normally as government. But we also have got good exit plans to make sure that communities are well taken care of continuously, even after the COVID fight.
Yeah. Water and other municipalities that have not had access as yet, which ones are they and where are you finding that it's most difficult to supply?
Well, our difficulties, Leanne, are in small municipalities and in rural areas. You know, the funding structure for municipalities gives very little to small municipalities and municipalities in rural areas. And you find that even though the network is there, connection is there, but you find that villages are far apart from one another. In informal settlements, the way and the race in which they mushroom, it makes it difficult for municipalities to be able to fund. So out of the 205 local municipalities, mostly hit hard, you find the rural KwaZulu-Natal, rural Eastern Cape, rural Northwest, rural Limpopo, which makes it difficult for anybody to be able to reach some spaces. And this is where the strategy of putting water tanks and providing water to water trucks is what is constantly being done.
Another issue that has recently come to the fore is the issuing of permits to informal traders, which saw long queues at various municipalities yesterday. Are you confident that this process will be without glitches?
Leanne, we have been hard at work since yesterday. Remember, in fact, the municipal circular from the minister only came to municipalities yesterday. This was an announcement which was made impromptu by government trying to cover informal settlements, informal traders. Already the circular gives direction that municipalities must open their business management units in all their municipalities to assist the people. If you had seen in the interviews of yesterday, people who were being interviewed, though the queues were slow, but service was being offered. And we are looking forward to today and tomorrow as our target to make sure that our traders have also been allocated with necessary permit. But I must warn Leanne, these traders are actually traders who have been registered with the municipalities. They are just given a permit now during the lockdown. Now we have been inundated with calls of new registration. We understand that because mostly if you have been employed where you ordinarily were employed and you are no longer employed and you are fearing that you will not receive a salary at the end of the month, you may be thinking of other alternatives. But for a start, as municipalities were issuing permits into spaza shops that were assessed and reviewed by municipalities and permitted to trade. There have been a lot, on the other hand, informal settlements, plaza shops, which have been illegal and operating without such permits. We are dealing with that matter separately, but the starting point is those who are legal, who are allowed, who have been assessed by municipalities and our health inspectors to trade first, and then we'll come second into dealing with the normal registrations as time normalizes.
Yeah, that's an important message to get out to those that are queuing, that may queue all day and find that they're actually not registered. So please be aware of that stipulation, as this is causing unnecessarily long queues for those that are already registered. An important question to ask you is municipal functions. What municipal functions are actually still available to residents during the period of this lockdown?
Well, Leanne, our main function as municipalities is the provision of basic services. We've already spoken to water, refuse collection, sanitation, roads. In the main, we are not necessarily doing roads now, but in responding to COVID-19, we are also utilizing our facilities to make sure that we house the homeless. We have spoken to informal trading from our local economic development units. So all those sections and revenue collection, you still need to pay your rates and taxes. So those are part of our services that are able either online and in small scale staff in municipalities that are still available. So we still continue to pick up your refuse today, provide you with water, and make sure that waste is collected in hospitals and public areas. But all our facilities like parks are closed. Facilities like cemeteries, Leanne, will continue to offer such services because there are deaths that are happening during these trying times, and municipalities are ready to make sure that undertakers and families are assisted with grave digging and all the support that is needed to bury a loved one. So a buying of a gravesite, for example, is available during this time. So those are essential services in the main that we offer, but we are playing a role in public health as well, assisting with distancing, social distancing, assisting with management issues, supervision in complexes, in areas where communities don't comply, like still hosting weddings and funerals which are above the required number.
Yeah.
So we are part of a government network in ensuring that our communities are safe.
Yeah. I mean, we even saw a bride and a groom being arrested for having their wedding and going over these laws that have been set in place with regard to how they hosted their wedding. And that's a big story.
That was a big story, and there's actually 2 weddings, and unfortunately, all of them were happening in KZN. The one you are referring to happened in Nseleni, Umhlatuze municipality. Another one happened in Nkandla municipality, where also a traditional leader was helpful in the community to say the wedding must not continue, but he was also violated or not respected. Hence, the police came in to make arrests. So we're pleading with our communities, please respect the rules of the Disaster Management Act as set by the president to make sure that all of us are safer. It's not about you, it's about all of us.
I want to touch on another issue in terms of the densely populated areas. And we saw over the weekend a report coming out in the Sunday Times basically saying that government has identified 29 densely populated areas for relocation as the coronavirus pandemic continues to spread. Now, we've always known that there are areas that are so densely populated and then suddenly massive empty spaces that, could be used. And this brings into question the land issue. So SALGA have also been outspoken about this and also talking to the fact that there may be this relocation happening. Can you elaborate a little bit on this?
Yes, Leanne, part of the responsibilities of municipalities have been to identify such persons. Actually, I must admit and inform our viewers that we had started with the process as municipalities slightly prior to the lockdown itself, where we wanted to make sure that we are of the assistance to municipalities and our communities. There is a silver lining for every cloud. And I think this is a message that COVID-19 has taught us. The land parcels have always been there. Government has been relatively slow in processing them. But now we are faster and we want to make sure that land available is allocated to its people. And the Department of Human Settlement has been forthcoming in making sure that all this. But not only land, Leanne, abandoned building of government. Can you imagine if as municipalities were now saying the homeless are going to be taken care of? Come lockdown, we chase them out back to the streets. It wouldn't be a viable option for us to be able to do that. So it means we need to convert open spaces with speed to make sure that we cover and cater for our communities.
Yeah, I mean, you speak about something that should have been done years and years ago, and yet, the silver lining, perhaps this is it. I mean, these abandoned buildings for homeless people, land that should have been converted decades ago is now being looked at. I mean, these things, I hope, do not stop after COVID-19, because there is life after COVID-19, and perhaps things are going to be better.
President Ramaphosa, in his PCC meeting in the command center, said we need to behave as if we are coming out of a war when COVID-19 ends or when the lockdown comes to an end. Meaning he expects us, SALGA included, to make sure that our plans that we have carried over and capability of government that we have been able to show in a very short space of time to be continuous. And I think we are in for that role. We are assisting municipalities now to reprioritize their budgets to make sure that such issues are well taken care of, and we don't drop the ball as part of a sector that is closer to its people in making sure that we need them to be taken care.
Yeah. Just finally, before I let you go, the report stated that there are 17 land parcels that have been made available for the project. Is there any more detail? Has there been a follow-on from the conversation that was held over the weekend with regard to which communities could be relocated and where this may be happening?
We are not yet at that level, Leanne. We are over around 17 municipalities now, but not yet ready to release the names and the areas. But they are mostly focused in our metros and densely populated informal settlements. The second phase now is on secondary cities, your Rustenburg, your Umhlatuze, and all those areas being able to identify both government land and communal land to assist our communities where they can be able to build. And I think towards the end of the week, Cabinet is sitting on Wednesday, though I'm not the government spokesperson, but they should be able to be tabulating that report to make sure that then at the end of it all, we could be able to release it.
All right, Thembi, you've been a star. Thanks for talking to us here on the program. Thembi Nkadimeng is the president of SALGA, explaining to us how the local municipalities will assist in the fight against COVID-19. Let's take a break. See you after this.